A hand hovers over a screen. The name glows, unanswered. Again, the thumb scrolls back. Old words, read 100 times. Each tap, a silent PLEA. Not for them. For something you can't name, you know the weight. The quiet pull to check again, to hope blindly. It's not new, it's a loop, carved deep. You give, they take. You wait, they fade. This isn't care, this is USE. And yet, the finger lingers. Why hold what's already gone? You think staying proves strength. That effort earns their gaze. But does it? Each moment, you chase. What returns? A shadow, a void. Not them. The system hums. It always has. You feed it with your time, your presence, and it gives nothing. The cost creeps in, not loud, not sharp, a slow drip. Each check, a thread of awareness phrase. Each wait, a piece of clarity dissolves. You don't see it, not yet, but the system tracks it. Your energy, spent on what doesn't see you. Your silence, filled with their absence. The math is simple. You lose. They don't. And the loop spins on. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Marcus Aurelius wrote this, not to comfort, to cut. The events, their silence, their use don't bend, but your mind, it can. It's not about them. It's about what you let stay. The screen, the name, the hope. These are guests. You choose their weight, their time. Nothing forces your hand to scroll. Nothing demands your gaze. Only the loop, and it's yours. When did you last SEE yourself? Without their shadow. You pause. You think you've stopped. But the thumb moves again. The screen lights up. Another check. Another wait. Is this choice? Or just the loop wearing your face? You know the answer. It's not loud. It's not kind. It's just there, waiting for you to witness. 7 cuts lie ahead, to name what you already feel. Not to heal, not to fix, to see. The attitudes that use you, they're not hidden. They're just quiet, like your pain, like your silence. Step back. The truth is colder than you think. You think you see them. Their words, their smiles. You think it means something. A bond, a weight. You give time, effort, presents. You expect it back. That's the deal, isn't it? You show up, they show up, but they don't. Not really. The math fails. You pour in, they take out, and the balance, it never comes. You tell yourself it's fine, you're strong. You can carry it. But why? Why carry what's not yours? The assumption hums. If I give enough, they'll value me. It's a trap. You know it. You felt it. The moment you give more, they pull back. The moment you need, they're gone. It's not chance. It's a system. Their system. Not yours. You're not blind. You see the pattern. You just don't stop. You chase. You hope blindly. You think one more try will shift it. But the truth is colder. They don't care. They never did. You're not their anchor. You're their tool. Pause. The loop is yours to break. Attitude 1. Manipulation through guilt. You feel it. The pull. A word. A glance. You'd help if you cared. It lands heavy. Not loud. Not sharp. Just enough to twist. You pause. You hesitate. You pled with yourself to say no. But the hook is set. Guilt. It's not theirs. It's yours. You carry it. You always do. Their words, they're not requests. They're traps. Designed. Precise. To make you bend. To make you give. You see it. The pattern. They speak. You act. They need. You provide. And when you falter, the silence stings. I've done so much for you. The math is wrong. You owe nothing, yet you pay. Every time. You explain. You justify. You try to prove you're enough. But the system hums. It's not about you. It's about control. Theirs. Not yours. The cost isn't loud. It's quiet. Each time you bend, a piece of clarity frays. Each time you give, presence slips. You don't see it. Not at first, but it stacks. Guilt becomes your lens. You question your no. You doubt your worth. You think, maybe they're right. Maybe you're the one who's wrong. The loop tightens. You're not serving them. You're serving their system, a system that thrives on your shame, on your need to be seen. It's not care, it's USE, and you fuel it. Every nod, every yes you didn't mean. The weight grows, not because they ask, because you let it. You become just through doing just actions, Aristotle said. Not stoic, but cold. True, your actions shape you. Not their words, not their hooks. You act to please, you become the pleaser. You act to serve, you become the servant. But what if you didn't? What if you saw the hook and let it hang? No response, no explanation, just silence. The system starves without your fuel. Their words, they're just air. You don't have to breathe it. You don't have to move. You can witness. You can detach. The guilt, it's not yours. It never was. Stop. When they speak, don't leap. Pause. Let the words fall. They're not your chains. They're theirs. You don't need to answer. You don't need to prove. The urge to plead, it's a signal, not of weakness, of a loop you can break. Breathe. Feel the pull, then let it pass. Say less. Do less. Their system needs you. You don't need it. Withdraw. Not to punish. To SEE. The truth is simple. Colder than you think. You're not here to carry their weight. You don't owe anything. The guilt fades when you stop feeding it. But another attitude waits. One that doesn't demand, but takes quietly, without a word. Attitude de la selective presence. A bridge to nowhere. That's what you build. You show up, always. Your time, your ear, your presence. You give it freely, without question. They call, you answer. They need, you're there. A text at midnight, a favor at dawn. You're the constant, the anchor. But when you reach out, the bridge ends. Silence. No reply, no trace. You check the screen. Nothing. You wait. Nothing. The pattern hums. They're there when it suits them, absent when it doesn't. You're not their priority. You're their convenience. You know this. You felt it. The weight of their absence, it's not new. Yet you cross the bridge again. You chase. You hope blindly. Thinking, maybe this time, maybe now. The cost isn't a crash. It's a slow leak. Each unanswered message, a drop of awareness gone. Each ignored need, a thread of self-command frayed. You don't scream, you don't rage, you just wait. You tell yourself, it's fine. They're busy. They'll come around. But the truth is colder. They don't. They won't. You're not their anchor. You're their tool. Used when needed, shelved when not. The system runs on your effort, not theirs. You build the bridge. They cross it. And when you need to cross, it's gone. Emptiness doesn't shout. It whispers, and you hear it. Every time you check again. We suffer more in imagination than in reality, Seneca wrote. Your mind paints their absence as your failure. You imagine reasons, you invent excuses, but reality is simpler. They choose, not you. Their absence, it's not your fault. It's their system. You can't control their steps, but you can control yours. Detach. Stop building. Stop crossing. Let the bridge collapse. It was never yours. Withdraw. Not to hurt them. To see yourself. The urge to chase. It's a signal, not of care, of a loop you feed. Pause. Let their silence be theirs. You don't need to fill it. Step back. When they call, don't rush. When they fade, don't follow. Breathe. Their absence isn't your loss. It's their truth. You don't need to prove your worth. You don't need their presence to be whole. Let go. The bridge leads nowhere, because it always did. Disengage. Not to win, to be free. The system breaks when you stop building. Let go isn't weakness. A room with one chair, yours. You sit. The air stills. Nothing moves. Not the screen, not your hand, just breath. This is where it starts. But another attitude lurks, one that doesn't ask for your time. It takes it, without a sound. Attitude 3. Disregard for your time. Plans made. Cancelled. Again. A text. Sorry, something came up. Hours promised. Hours lost. You wait. They don't show. No call. No reason. The clock ticks. Your time. Theirs to take. You don't complain. You nod. You say, it's fine, but it's not. Each delay, a cut. Each excuse, a wait. You hold on to their words, to their next time. You think they'll value it. Your patience, your presence. But they don't. They never do. Time given, time gone. You're not their anchor. You're their afterthought. The pattern hums, silent. You see it. You feel it. Yet, you stay. The cost builds, not in shouts, in whispers. Each wait, a frayed edge of clarity. Each, it's okay, a crack in self-command. You don't rage. You don't break. You just fad. A little more. Each time, the system runs, not on respect, on your willingness to give, to forgive, to hope blindly. You tell yourself, they didn't mean it. They're busy. They'll change. But the math is cold. Time spent, never returned. Time ignored, never valued. You're not their priority. You're their option. Numbness creeps. Not loud. Just there. In the moments you can't reclaim. There is nothing the busy man is less busied with than living, Seneca wrote. Their rush, not your burden. Their excuses, not your truth. Time is yours, not theirs to burn. You can't control their steps, but you can control yours. Withdraw, not to punish, to see. The urge to wait, it's a signal, not of care, of a loop you feed. Pause. Let their delays be theirs. You don't need to carry them. Say less. When they cancel, don't chase. When they promise, don't hold. Breathe. Your time, it's not their right. It's yours. Stay still. Their absence speaks. Let it. You don't need to fill the gap. You don't need to prove your worth. Refrain. The system starves when you stop waiting. Time is not theirs. It's yours. Hold the line. The line you draw. It's not for them. It's for you. Not doing is power too. The air settles. Heavy now. Another attitude moves closer. One that doesn't take your time. It takes your depth. Without a trace. Attitude 4. Surface level connection. I'm here. But am I? The words spill. Laughter. Nods. Small talk hums. Safe. Weather. Work. Plans. Always the same. I speak, they listen. Or do they? Their eyes drift, their answers short. I try again. A story, a thought, something deeper. It lands nowhere. The surface holds. I cling to it. To them, thinking this is enough. This is connection. But it's not. It's a mask. Words without weight. Smiles without roots. I'm here, but I'm alone. The loop spins. I talk. I stay. I hope blindly for more. But the depth never comes. It's not loud. The cost. It's a hollow ache. Each shallow word. A drop of presents lost. Each empty laugh. A thread of awareness. Frayed. I don't cry. I don't rage. I just linger. In the shallows. Telling myself, it's fine. They're kind. They're here. But they're not. Not really. The system runs on my effort. My need to be seen. I give depth. They give surface. The math fails. I'm not their anchor. I'm their mirror, reflecting what they choose, not what I am. Emptiness doesn't shout. It settles heavy in the moments I can't share. What need have you of being secure if you do not make use of what you have? Epictetus asked. The surface. It's not your fault. Their limits, not your burden. You can't force depth. You can't make them see, but you can see. You can detach. The urge to cling, it's a signal, not of care, of a loop you feed. Pause. Let their words stay light. You don't need to weigh them. Step back. When they speak, don't dive. When they drift, don't follow. Breathe. Your depth, it's not their right. It's yours. Say less. The system starves when you stop pouring. I'm here, but I'm enough. I don't need their depth to be whole. I don't need their gaze to be seen. Withdraw, not to hide, to be free. The surface, it's theirs. Not Mina. I can walk away. I can sit with it. The quiet. It's not empty. It's mine. The void is where it clears. They'll open up. Eventually. Stoic. They won't see. You're enough. The words echo, then fade. Another attitude waits. One that doesn't meet you. Not when it matters. Attitude 5. Absence in need. You fall, they don't catch. The weight hits. Hard. A loss. A fracture. A moment where the world tilts. You reach out. Not for much. A word. A presence. Something to steady the spin. But they're not there. A text sent. Unanswered. A call. Ignored. You wait. You hope blindly. Thinking they'll show. They care. They must. But the silence grows. Their absence. It's not a mistake. It's a choice. You're not their anchor. You're their convenience. When you're strong, they're close. When you're weak, they're gone. The pattern hums cold. You see it. You feel it. Rejection. Stings. Not loud. Just deep. Yet you hold on. To the hope. To the maybe. The cost isn't a scream. It's a slow bleed. Each unanswered plea. A shard of presence lost. Each silent wait. A crack in self-command. You don't collapse. You don't curse. You just shrink a little more. Each time, the system runs on your need. Your urge to be seen. You reach, they pull back. The math is brutal. You give trust, they give voids. You're not their priority. You're their option. Numne settles. Not sudden. Just there. In the moments you need it most, you tell yourself, it's fine. They're busy. They didn't know. But the truth cuts. They chose. Not you. There is only one way to happiness. To cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. Epictetus wrote. Their absence, not your fault. Their choices, not your chains. You can't force their presence. You can't make them care. But you can pause. You can detach. The urge to hope. It's a signal, not of care, of a loop you feed. Witness. Let their silence be theirs. You don't need to fill it. Step back. When they fade, don't chase. When they ignore, don't plead. Breathe. Your need. It's not their right. It's yours. Say less. The system starves. When you stop reaching, you fall. You rise. Not because they catch. Because you do. You don't need their hand to stand. You don't need their gaze to be whole. Refrain. The silence, it's not empty. It's yours. Pause. The weight lifts when you stop begging. Non-reaction. It's not weakness. It's power. Stillness is enough. Another attitude creeps in. One that doesn't need you. Just what you offer. Without a trace of care. Attitude 6. Utility over value. You're the call they make when they need. A favor. A fix. A shoulder. You answer always. Your time. Your effort. Your presence. You give without pause. They take without thanks. The pattern hums quiet. You're there when it serves them. A tool, not a person. You see it. The way they ask, never question. The way they lean, never lift. You explain to yourself. They need me. I'm helping. It's fine, but it's not. When you need, the line goes dead. No text, no trace. You're not their anchor. You're their means. Used, then shelved. You chase their approval, thinking it's care. It's not. It's a loop, and you're in it. The cost isn't loud. It's a slow grind. Each favor given, a piece of awareness chipped. Each need ignored, a thread of self-command frayed. You don't shout. You don't break. You just give more. Each time, the system runs on your willingness, your urge to be useful. You think, if I do enough, I'll be seen. But the math is cold. You give value. They take utility. You're not their priority. You're their function. Isolation doesn't scream. It settles heavy. In the moments you're not needed, you tell yourself, it's fine. They'll see me. They'll care. But the truth cuts deeper. They won't. They don't. What need is there to weep over parts of life? The whole of it calls for tears, Seneca wrote. Their needs, not your burden. Their use, not your worth. You can't make them value you. You can't force their care. But you can disengage. The urge to explain. It's a signal, not of duty, of a loop you feed. Pause. Let their asks hang. You don't need to answer. Withdraw. When they call, don't leap. When they take, don't give. Breathe. Your value, it's not their right. It's yours. Say less. The system starves when you stop serving. You're not a tool. You're a presence. You don't need their need to be whole. You don't need their use to be seen. Step back. The loop breaks when you stop feeding it. Non-reaction. It's not loss. It's power. Hold the line. Your worth. It's not for them to measure. It's yours to keep. Detachment is a form of respect. 80% of relationships fade when utility ends. The number sits cold. Undeniable. You feel it. The truth behind the math. Another attitude waits. One that doesn't see you. Not even a little. Attitude 7. Lack of genuine interest. They ask, "How's work?" You answer. They nod. Then shift. Their story. Their day. Their world. You listen. You always do. You try again. A thought. A fear. Something real. It falls flat. No echo. No depth. Their eyes elsewhere. Their words clipped. You overthink. What to say next. How to be heard. How to be seen. You think, if I find the right words, they'll care. They'll stay. But they don't. The pattern hums cold. You're not their focus. You're their backdrop. A mirror for their voice, not yours. You know this. You feel it. Yet you speak. Again. Hoping. This time. The cost isn't a storm. It's a slow fade. Each unheard word. A shard of presence lost. Each ignored truth. A crack in clarity. You don't rage. You don't plead. You just try harder. Each time, the system runs on your effort. Your need to be valued. You think, if I share enough, they'll see me. But the math is brutal. You give depth, they give glances. You're not their interest. You're their convenience. Anxiety creeps. Not loud. Just there. In the moments you're not heard, you tell yourself, it's fine. They're distracted. They'll listen next time. But the truth is, colder. They won't. They don't. If you are pained by external things, it is not they that disturb you, but your own judgment of them, Marcus Aurelius wrote. Their indifference, not your fault. Their limits, not your chains. You can't make them hear. You can't force their care, but you can observe. The urge to overthink, it's a signal, not a failure, of a loop you feed. Pause. Let their nods be theirs. You don't need to fill the silence. Say less. When they drift, don't chase. When they turn, don't follow. Breathe. Your truth. It's not their right. It's yours. Witness. The system starves. When you stop speaking, you're not a story they need to hear. You're a presence. Whole. Without their gaze. You don't need their interest to be seen. You don't need their ear to be true. Step back. The loop breaks. When you stop trying. Non-reaction. It's not silence. It's power. Hold the line. Your voice. It's not for them to value. It's yours. To keep. You don't have to react. A phone lies face down. Silent. No hum. No glow. The air stills heavy with breath. Nothing moves. Not your hand. Not your eyes. Just the quiet. Yours. You didn't check. You didn't reach. You didn't explain. The urge was there. Sharp. Familiar. But it passed. Not because you fought. Because you saw. The weight lifts. Not their absence. Your presence. You're here. Not for them. For you. The silence holds. Not empty. Clear. You didn't chase, you didn't plead, you didn't bend. A moment kept, not given. You feel it. The space where you didn't react, where you didn't lose. It's not peace, it's not joy. It's just truth. A truth you've always carried. You don't need their gaze to be seen. You don't need their voice to be whole. You have you. What stays when you stop? The quiet, the breath, the choice. You felt it the moment you didn't move. The system waits. Their system. It hums, but you don't. You witness. You detach. You be here. The truth doesn't need your fight. It needs your eyes. Silence is where you begin.